Okay. Commissioner, we are now recording. It's Sunday, September 13th, 2020. Again, back for a weekly memo and video to all of our staff. We've certainly had a very busy week, as it seems like we start out every one of our messaging to staff with that comment. So how are you?
I'm great, Ken. Hello to all of our regulars, because we know we have a little bit of a following there. But I also think we probably this week can invite and say hello to those who are jumping on for the first time, maybe because of some increased attention and direction to this. So let's get started. Last week we ended with a conversation about Suicide Prevention Month. And I think that that's a good way to pick up on, this week's topics.
It is. So September is also National Recovery Month, where we draw attention to those who are struggling with, but also addressing both mental health and substance use issues. We also celebrate not just the awareness and our efforts to lift the stigmas of those conditions, but also the success of those who do recover, who are strengthened, who are empowered. And I think, like you said, we wanted to start right there this week.
Yeah, Mental Health Recovery Month is an important time to reflect on how substance abuse or substance use and mental illness kind of play off of each other and are intertwined so often. So it's important to raise awareness to those things as we look at the numbers of overdose deaths of parents that are involved in families that we've been working with, the increase in intimate partner violence in a lot of situations involving substance use, but also in our tremendous supports that we have in our RRG with our clinicians that can help our staff navigate the recovery efforts and the treatment agencies and departments that we work with outside of DCF that can really help the folks that we serve overcome substance use and addiction and not be plagued by that. So this is an important highlight to recognize the recovery and mental health aspects of substance use and domestic violence and all of the way we assess the needs of the parents that we serve.
Yep. And there is such great collaborative work that goes on with DCF and other sister agencies such as DEMIS regarding this work. This week I've been in contact numerous times with our lead, Mary Painter, in central office, who's just a tremendous support to all of us. And there are conferences, there are newsletters, there's other information that we're going to be sending out throughout the remainder of the month to really highlight our work in this area.
Yeah, I did a forum too with the DEMIS commissioner this week. It was a community conversation related to race. And so anytime we can collaborate with other sister state agencies on issues such as recovery, mental health, racial justice, all of those things, the better. So when I also think about that, I also think about the issues that were highlighted in the most recent court monitor report.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we had a great week where the court monitor has pre-certified our investigation outcome.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Information out to staff. So this is a huge accomplishment and milestone for the department.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Ken. So I've said before that when I started the department back in '92, it was the beginning of the kind of consent decree exit outcome establishment. And, the last 5 measures that we inherited when we started this administration, we ticked off the caseload measure with predictive hiring and the work that Jody and the HR did to kind of get hiring to the place where our caseloads were under control. We're seeing the benefit of that right now, of people doing some really solid work because they have room on their caseload desktop to be able to grow. The second big step at those last 5 measures was the investigations pre-certification. And that is reflecting on the quality of our investigations work and recognizing that the documentation of all of those efforts shone brightly during the pandemic response. So the court monitor was able to review lots of cases prior to pandemic, as well as some that he did as a supplemental for this last report. So yeah, kudos to all of us out there that understand the importance of the quality investigations really rules the front door of Child Protective Services and DCF.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, Commissioner, in our conversation earlier today, this is also a reflection of the leadership of our department, and especially those who oversee the intake staff. And this week, we have another example of leadership and stepping up, in the sense that we have a leadership summit, which is going to further advance our efforts towards becoming an anti-racist organization?
Yeah, so in January of last year, which seems like eons ago, but it was really like what, 9 months ago, 9 months ago, we had our first leadership summit where our administration was able to solidify with the leaders of the department across all area offices, divisions, facilities to be able to say, what's our vision as an agency and establish the focus of 2020. We did a little play on 2020 vision. Little did we know we would have an international pandemic in the middle of all of that. And so our next iteration of the leadership summit that is this week is this, are we still in focus? Are we still focusing on advancing outcomes for kids and families across the board in terms of our outcomes for all of the work that we do? And we know that one of the places that we have to focus our attention on outcomes is disparity and disproportionality. So the theme of this particular leadership summit of, are we remaining in focus in terms of outcomes and how we get to that in our racial justice focus. So I'm excited about that.
Yep. And as you've talked numerous times, unless we continue to talk and hold ourselves accountable, we know how quickly ideas and a vision can go awry unless
Right.
we are all
focused
on the same page and focused and rowing in the same
right.
direction, as I believe
That's
I've heard
right.
you say in multiple occasions, right?
One of the areas that we've also seen disparate outcomes, and our last piece of information for today's conversation is our fatherhood work. We've seen it develop over the years in such tremendously great ways. We've got, our breakthrough series happening with Region 4 and the work that they're doing just nationally and understanding fatherhood work across jurisdictions. We also see our leadership summit, that's our fatherhood conference happening this week, also in terms of our of the leadership expectations of helping move topic areas along. So another exciting thing that's happening within the department this week.
Yeah, you bet. So at this point, Commissioner, in the video, if staff do not want to hear the statistical update on positive COVID-19 diagnosis, we would ask that they can, turn off their video at this point.
Yep. So what we've seen in our data is consistent with what we've seen across Connecticut, Ken, and that is an uptick in positive COVID-19 reports. We saw our transmission rate and our percent positives go above the 1% mark for a couple of days this week,
Sure.
which is indicative of our colleges opening, our schools opening, but also, again, the theme that we have carried through the last couple of months, and that's just this notion of, people maybe relaxing their standards a little bit in terms of their own protections with PPE and social distancing. So our stats reflect that. You want to step through what they look like today?
So we have 82 caregivers, which includes both core and therapeutic foster parents, obviously along with relatives, 35 youth, and 38 staff members. So as you said, those numbers are slowly creeping up. And as we have indicated to staff multiple times, it even talked about during the virtual town hall and the individual listening tours that we've done in our facilities and our regions up to date, remain vigilant. Don't take anything for granted. Pay attention to how you feel. PPE, wash your hands, social distancing, all those messages we're going to continue to reinforce back to staff.
Yeah, not only a place of personal responsibility, but workplace expectations. Let's take care of ourselves and take care of each other. So that's our video for the week.
You
Be
got
careful.
it. All right, take care.
All right, lead by example. Take care.